Hello, everybody. Welcome to round one of the season, the Footywired season. It'll be good this week because everyone's barring injuries. Everyone's got a full team, so it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So let's get to it. Let's get started. We start off by looking at the ladder. So we can see Falcons going to round one or second round or whatever you want to call it on top, and Bombers Forever on the bottom because they had a very small or not a great side last week. Only 3 or 4 players, and one of them got injured. But anyway, let's get started. Let's have a look at the team list first by going to the AFL page. And if we look at the team list, we can see, let's go to the first game, which is Carlton versus Richmond. With that team, as we know, Doherty's out. So there's a couple little injuries there. It'd be nice if we had the full list of who's in and who's out. That would be great, Mick, but it doesn't matter. So let's have a look at the AFL.com website real quickly and have a look. Should have had this a bit organised a bit early, but that's all right. So if we look at real quickly, the players that are out for this game are Corey Durden. No late changes. Corey Durden is out. The subs are actually already named as well. I think Michael sent a message. I think it's Mansell and, I don't know, someone else. Who cares? But that's that team. Outs for Collingwood and Sydney. Howe and McRae are in. Mitchell managed after playing half a game. And Noble is out. He was a sub last week. Sydney have got no changes. Essendon have got a few new players in there with Mackay, Gresham, Goldset and Dersmer in. And Hawthorn are playing Chol, Ginnivan, D'Ambrosio and the Wizard Watson. So note that Finn McGuinness is named on the bench. And is he going to go to Nick Martin or is he going to go to Zach Merritt? It'll be interesting to see that. The Giants welcome back Callahan and Perriman, and Mullen and Ward are out. And North Melbourne have got 3 or 4, 5 new players. Dersmer is a rookie. McKercher is a rookie. Pink was on the draft. He's a rookie as well. And then Zach Fisher and Dylan Stevens come for their first game. Geelong, Sean Manor is playing. And Michael, you can say hello to everyone. Say hello. Sean Manor is playing. Hello. And then St Kilda will have Darcy Wilson rookie and the new players in Liam Henry and Roland Bolland and Lance Collar. I don't even know who that is. Gold Coast are staying unchanged, where Adelaide Crows have got no change. And it's interesting to see that Sam Berry is starting. Everyone thought he was gone. And Matt Crouch is on the bench. And then Melbourne have made a lot of changes. Hall comes in for what we think will be Bowie. Pickett, McDonald and Fullerton come in. Don't forget extended benches because it's a Sunday game. And the Dogs, 2 new players, Gallagher and Sanders are going to start. And they're named a few players in terms of Sam Darcy on the bench, Cam Daniels on the bench, Johannes on the bench. Interesting to see what they do there. Eagles, Brockman and Reed are in the team. And Tyler Dewar, I don't even know who that is, but, it's East West Coast, so who cares? And Port Adelaide are going to have both Jordan Sweet and Ivan Sato. We're interested to see that Ivan Sato is named as a starting ruck and Sweet on the extended bench. Whether he gets a game or not, who knows? But yeah, so that's those players there. So we'll see who goes to subs, see who gets cut. They have to name all 5 players on the bench now, so we don't know who's going to be subs for each game anymore, unlike last time. So if we look at it, if we have a look at the players, so for Carlton, there's a few players that are picked there, as we can see, and then Richmond. So everyone can go to the AFL site now and have a look to see who's being picked and who's playing for the teams. Lynch is back in the team for me, obviously, for that one, so that's good for me as well. Let's look at the matchups and let's look at the teams now as soon as this little thing disappears. Where are we? All right. So matchups, let's go with the first game here. It's Bombers Forever versus Sugar Daddies. Bombers Forever has welcomed a few players back. Taylor Walker is out this week. So interesting to see there. I'm making a video, mate. You let me go. You can do the video with me if you want. All right, don't touch that. All right. So my video's not very clear, is it? Doesn't matter. Maybe I need to give it a clean. But Jamarra Hagan starting full forward against the D's defence should be interesting. And Nick Larkey in there. Nick Larkey's playing GWS, where they've got a very strong defence as well. But Nick Larkey played well all year last year. Hogan had a great game last week. Walker is out. He's starting with English and utility and Sarong for Sugar Daddy's as utility. Gold is taking the number one ruck because Darcy, what's his name? Sam Draper's named as emergency. And Sherry is taken first. Hopefully he doesn't get injured like his first game last season. And obviously Butters, Petrarca, a bit down last week, but still did all right. Wines meant to be back in the midfield now, so we'll see how he goes. And Tim Kelly was a gun last year. Stewart was, I think, the best halfback in the game last year, and then Callum Wilkes there as well. And then Libba and Rao as a tackler. Even after his performance last week, Rao is a tackler. On the interchange, the loophole players are going to play Brett Daniels and Wanganeen Miller. Probably better options to play as loophole players there, but maybe other players on the bench, not too sure. But yeah, that's their teams. Well, as chosen so far, obviously there could be a few more changes, but who knows? We'll go to the next game, Second Destroyer versus Gators Bitches. Second Destroyer, I've already named that team. They've got Peter Wright playing against the Hawks up front. I've got Max King there, but I'm going to have to make a change there, and I'll explain why in a minute. Danaher is half forward over at Freo. Freo aren't expected to do that well this year, so we'll see what happens with them. Charlie Kerno for me, hopefully he smashes it against the Tigers, who haven't got a very good defence. Michael's putting paper bags over his head. Clayton Oliver's utility versus the Bonts. Now, Oliver's second game back, so hopefully he'll a bit better, but they're probably going to be up against each other, which would be good. Cameron's not going to get 40 again, and he's directly up against Brogan, so these two playing up against each other. Then the two midfielders should set themselves out. Darcy Parish is out, so he has to need to make a change there. Max Holmes, interesting to see how he goes, and then obviously the two halfbacks are pretty good, and the two tacklers should be all right as well. Hewitt is the interchange for this one, and I'm going to put Jordan DeGoey in probably for Max Holmes. And the reason why is because I've got no other options. Tom Mitchell's out, Callum Mills is out, and the only options for a loophole, which means if I'm not playing my loophole on Thursday, I'm not playing a loophole at all. And I'm actually interested to see how Tom Lynch goes because normally first up he plays all right. So I might play Tom Lynch as me to change to see how he goes because Max King against Geelong, it's a bit unknown, so who knows. And then obviously with Seek and Destroy, there are a few other options there. There's got a lot of injuries as well. But Zach Fisher looks like he's going to get a fair bit of ball with North Melbourne. Sam Flanders did all right last week. Sam Berry's in the team. And Mitch Duncan. So he needs to look at what he's going to do with Parrish, whether he plays Shield or not. Next game we look at is Renegades versus Rangers Anonymous. Rangers Anonymous finished the league on top last season. And then just a few injuries and stuff curtailed his finals campaign. If that's the word to use, I'm not a teacher like these two are. Anyway, full forward, Cole Langford is going to have a good season as he did last year. We're interested to see. And Charlie Cameron, but wanted to do better than what he did last week. Toby Green up against North Melbourne should realistically looking at the 60-pointer there. And Jeremy Cameron against the Saints. Started the year on fire last year. Zach Merritt, is he going to get a tag? Is Finn McGuinness going to go to Zach Merritt, or is Finn McGuinness going to go to Nick Martin? That's the big one there. I was listening to a show before, and it said that when Finn McGuinness tagged Zach Merritt the first half of last year, the first game last year, he had like 20 AFL fantasy points in the first half. He ended up getting like 80 in the second half when the tag went off. And Tim Taranto, turnover king. I mean, he just hacks it, so he's going to get points because he just hacks kicks and gets tackles. So he will be better than his 52 he got last week. The two ruckmen, Carlton, DeConey's up against Nankervis tonight, and Riley O'Brien should be all right in the ruck this week against. Or he's playing against Wits, so interesting. Josh Kelly playing his 200th game should have a big one. You'll think against North, against the team that he supported as a kid and was tagging him and his dad played for and all that kind of stuff. Lockie Neal's out, so that's going to need a change. Kenner, you need to change Lockie Neal. Don't forget. David Shuniak in the team and Canelio as well. Blakey and Vlosten, both halfbacks, both averaging the same as last week. No, that's a kangaroo. What's a kangaroo jumps? Remember kangaroo bounces? Yeah. And then Dunkley and Rowe as the two tacklers, both averaging the same as well. What's the projections on this one? 390 to 362. Lockie Neal's got to come out though, and Taranto's going to get 52 again, you'll think. Options for Lockie Neal. Well, he's got Cherry's interchange tonight, so that can come in. If that doesn't work, he's still got Hugh McGluggage to play. He's still got Jacob Hover possibly as well. So there's a couple there. He can make changes. And I think Renegades have set on their team. Next, we've got Maltese Falcons versus Gods of Olympus. Projections 417. Well, that's his team. I don't think he's going to get 417, but he's projected for it. It's 385. Mackay full forward against Tigers and Tom Hawkins against the Saints. Warner half forward. He's playing Collingwood at the end. He likes playing the MCG. And Shea Bolton tonight. Normally plays well in this game. Tom Green, yeah, he's a gun. And Rowan Marshall. How's Rowan Marshall going to do in Geelong? Last time he played Geelong, he wasn't up against a ruckman. So I'm interested to see what he does this time. But he's down as utility because he's playing big on the ruck. And Ned Reeves playing against Goldie. Dacos is midfielder versus Salem. Salem was named the bench, but he's going to be playing. Took Miller and Lockie Whitfield, Stephen May and James Sicily, two of the better halfbacks in the game. And then you got Cripps as tackler versus Wardlaw, who I'm interested to see. And both are playing a player as a loophole Friday night versus Jordan and Errol Goulden. You got to bear with me 1 second. I just want to see if this works. Don't know if that. Oh, it might be. I don't know. A little bit better. Maybe my screen was a bit dirty, but you'll get over it. And other options there. Obviously, we've got Mitch Lewis to come in full forward. I mean, he always good for 3 or 4 goals. Kieran Briggs is a ruck. Jai misses the full. Is he playing? Or centre squad? No. Jack Crisp as well. And then Michael's got Matt Crouch on the bench. Sexton is probably not. Carl Lehman, interesting one. We'll probably get a few kicks. Gresham, his new team. See how he goes. Lipinski's done all right. So, and then Hayden Young and Jordan Clarkson. Michael hasn't obviously done the Fremantle sides yet because they're both playing. Hayden Young is named on the bench, but you think he's going to start because he's probably one of their better midfielders this year. Then the last game, Punters Paddock versus Top Gun, 388 versus 355. Coley loves Dash so much, maybe he'll fold this game. Who knows? But Finlayson, who is named on the extended bench. So whether he gets named or not, we can see. We'll see if he does get named versus Papley. Rosie and Houston. These two traded. Rosie was part of that trade, as was Jordan Dawson, who's on the loophole there. And Rory Laird was part of that trade as well. So let's have a look. So Rosie against Houston, so 2 Port Adelaide players half forward of each other. Viney and Noah Anderson as utilities. Viney's been his last few games at the end of last year, and his first game this year was absolutely fantastic. Gawn, well, as a ruckman, you think, who's up against Grundy? So it'll be interesting that one. It'll be an interesting game. Sydney, no. Gawn's up against Doggies, Tim English, so he's going to 45 hitouts. English is shit as a tap ruck. Remember the good era us. And then Witts, we'll just think we'll do better than last. He's playing Rory against LA this week. Chalor in the midfield versus Rory Laird. Sinclair versus Duggan in the follower spot. So no clearances there. Both players will just be relying on the kicks. Richards the halfback versus Ryan's probably a weak spot there as a halfback, but we'll see what happens. Then you got Atkins as a tackler. I had Atkins last year. Atkins is a pretty good tackler. He's pretty good at it. Yeah, very good. And then Drew, who's also a very good tackler. And then both players are playing Dawson as a loophole and Isaac Heaney as a loophole. Other options, well, Danger's been apparently doing really well in training, so we'll see how he goes, as they always say. Nick Newman, Josh Dacos, other options to play. I mean, Ben King kicked 5 goals last week, can't get a spot in this team. As for here, Dusty's not picked up here for Top Guns, not getting the game. Jake Lloyd didn't play well last year. Keys was the replacement for, I think, Doherty. And then Luke Jackson, who's going to be the starting ruck. So they're the teams there, 388 to 355. I didn't go the projections for Seek and Destroy. So Seek and Destroy projected for 379. Gators Butchers projected for 390. And projections 381 for Bombers, and Sugar Dad is 388. But these are based on round 0 stats and average stats for last year. So that's this week's lineup. Remember, everyone, Kenner, do you take Neil out? He's not playing. Everyone have fun. The season starts in about 20 minutes, or the round 1 starts in 20 minutes. Good luck to everybody. Have a fantastic day. Cheers.